And if you calculate $12 million by 130 beds, it comes out to almost $100,000 per bed space.
Yeah.
Now it costs, their annual budget is $3 million to run this facility, okay? Now if you divide $3 million by 130, that's $25,000 per individual, okay, to babysit them in this facility while this is going on. Okay, so it costs $100,000 to build the facility per unit and $25,000 to operate it every year. And so you could see that this, we don't have enough money as a community to move forward in this. If this is the method that we're going to go to approach this, there's not enough money on the planet to approach it like this, okay? So, let me show you what we've done. When we got interested in doing this, we wanted to find out what else was going on the West Coast that was happening. This is up in Portland, Oregon. This is a little grassroots operation called Dignity Village. You can't see because behind the fence back here is the composting dump of Portland, okay? This was started off as an encampment in downtown, and they said, how can we get these people get out of here? Listen, give them a place to set up outside by the city limits, and then they moved it all out to the dump. Now this has 61 units of housing, the 61 individuals. There's no electric service in any of these units. These are just shanties. They were built by the individuals themselves. But to give you an example, this has taken 61 people off the streets that were chronically homeless. It doesn't look like much, but if you took the natural average of what chronically homeless people cost us communities, it's about $25,000 to $30,000 per individual that's chronically homeless. How much city services they soak up in a year's time, from fire call-outs, ambulance, mental health, police, all that kind of stuff. These 61 people have saved the city of Portland probably in the 10 or 15 years that they've been in existence, probably $50 million. All right. Now, I want to know where the $50 million that the Portland has saved, why couldn't they went back and build something for these folks? Okay. So that's just my point of view, I guess. Here's another situation in Eugene, Oregon. This is called Opportunity Village. Now this is a little bit better organized. As you can see down in the right-hand corner, there's some nice cabin type things. They have a lot of different, like this Calistoga type wagon set up. The cabin in the left corner there is a cabin they actually designed, and this arrangement has worked so well that they're actually going into business, starting financing or developing other homeless properties called Square One villages, and they're going to be building, and they have already started a new project with building these little cabins up in Oregon, and so that's working out real well. Now this is up in Seattle. They have a group up there that's called Nicholsville, and it's basically an organization of just encampments where they have a lot of homeless up in Seattle, and they have an arrangement. The city council allows encampments to move to church properties and stay on a church property for 90 days. And then they have to pack up and move to another property for another 90 days, and they can't come back to the original location for a year and a half. And so they hop all the way around town. Now there was a Lutheran church up in Seattle that had this extra parking lot, and they said they had hosted an encampment, and then they were approached, what about putting a tiny house village on your parking lot? And that's what they did. These are actually just like tough sheds. They're really not houses. They're just basically sheds. They have a heater, they have an electric outlet, and an electric light. And other than that, there's no sheetrock, there's no insulation, there's no nothing. While we were standing out talking to these folks, it is damp and it is cold in Seattle. We were freezing talking to people there, and I was just thinking, this would, living in this shed would be a lot better than living in a tent, but not a whole bunch better. okay? And so, now, down below you can't see, but this is what they have a tent for they have a common food preparation area, and then somebody in the Lutheran church donated the bathrooms up here, okay? And so, but this is a Lutheran church that has a congregation of 35 people, okay? All right? And they have this vacant lot, all right?
That's awesome.
All right, but that's the point. Now, I go to church in Castro Valley, a church called Three Crosses. If you've ever been up there, you'll see on the side of the road these giant three crosses right by the side of the freeway. And our congregation is around 3,000 right now, okay? Totally different ballgame. And, but they have room for 14 houses on their lot, okay? All right, here's a project that was built with HUD money. This is Quixote Village in Olympia, Washington. The units on the side here are about 8 by 20 feet long. They have a half a bath inside each one, no shower, and no kitchen. But they do have a big clubhouse right there where they have a big community kitchen area and a dining area and a lounge, and they also have laundry facilities in that building. And this costs about $3.2 million to put this together. It was, like I say, it was a HUD finance project. So they have about 36 units there, I think, something in that range. It came out to about $88,000 per unit. Because now the units themselves didn't cost that much, but all the infrastructure and the clubhouse and the paving of the parking lot and all this stuff that has to go into it brings that unit price up. Now let's see here. Next. Oh, let me go back. Okay. Now the state-of-the-art project is in Austin, Texas. It's called Community First Village. This is right on the outskirts of Austin, Texas, and this was started by a group of people that had a little feeding operation from the Catholic Church called Hurry Up and Get to the Point. They started a feeding operation. They said, what else can we do? They started building homes. They have built 150 of these homes right here. They also have a 100-slot RV park. Besides that, they have amenities. They have bus service on the property. They have common kitchens like that. They have outside theater that's been built by a local company. They have a grill for events. They have common kitchens, laundry rooms. This was a $16 million project, $64,000 per unit. And okay, so this comes down to this is our prototype, 136 square feet. This costs about, just for materials, it costs about $20,000 to put this together. This is the inside. So you have a full kitchen, there's a full bathroom, there's a couch that folds out to be a queen-size bed. And this is the second unit we put out, the light footprint unit, where we can just bring this onto a property. All it needs is power. It has room for 1 or 2 people to live. It has a composting toilet inside the unit, no shower. So this would be something where if you had a vacant lot, you want to take care of a group of people, you can bring a number of units on the property and you can get that need handled. And so here's another experiment we're working on. This is third prototype. One of the things I wanted to know about was building with containers. Is that something we should be doing? It was always out in the option area. I wanted to either adopt it or eliminate it, and I think we're eliminating. Okay. One of the problems with the cargo containers, cutting the openings is very dangerous. You have a big metal box. You have to insulate the metal box somehow. There's a lot of condensation issues. I wanted to build this so that it didn't look like a metal box. So we had to frame up walls on the inside, so you can insulate it. But I wanted to frame on the outside so we would cover up all the metal. So there's a lot of
So then you're building a house and
we're building 3 houses here, okay? and so this is interior. This is steel framing, so you can see kind of where off to the right where the bathroom and shower would be, and the kitchen will be on the left. And but you know, we're looking at something else. Now here's a project. We about a year ago, where somebody came through one of these open houses like this, Cash Servant Church in Castro Valley, and he approached us after and said, "Hey, we have 6 homeless people living in cars in our parking lot. We'd like to do something better." And so we designed a unit like this, and we're going to build 6 of these. Alameda County got behind this project, and they gave the church a grant of $200,000 to get the project off the ground. And so we're going to be building 6 of these units on their back parking lot, and we're hoping to get started this fall. And that's what the inside, so you have a deck outside, there's a full bath, a kitchen, and then a bed area, living area. And you also have TV, heater, all the amenities you need to, you gotta have a TV, life support system, and this is the picture of my backyard. We're planning, we've already approached the city of Hayward to build a micro-sized apartment unit project here. I think we can get 16 micro apartments on this property, plus a clubhouse, like a room this size, so we would have a common kitchen, a dining, and a lounge, plus a laundry facility, plus a patio, a common garden. And this is happening in my backyard. And so this is another way you can appreciate my wife, because you've heard the term NIMBY, not in my backyard. Well, we've changed it around to YIMBY, which is yes, in my backyard, right here. And so, anyway, that's it. That's all I have for you.